Hello and welcome. You watching India First. I'm Gaurav Sawant. As details of another temple locked up for close to 50 years emerged during an anti-encroachment and an anti-power theft drive in Sambhal in Uttar Pradesh, the state chief minister Yogi Adityanath took the battle right into the opposition. He detailed the anatomy of an exodus. Why were temples after temples locked up and abandoned in Sambhal in Uttar Pradesh? Is there encroachment on temple land and wells used by Hindus in Sambhal? Violence in 1947 and violence in 1958 resulted in 7 Hindus being killed. Then there were riots in 1962, in 1976 and in 1978. Yogi Adityanath gave details of how 184 Hindus were slaughtered and burnt alive in Sambhal, and that led to a massive exodus. Arvind Ojha brings you a top story.
A second temple was discovered in Sambhal, Uttar Pradesh during the ongoing anti-encroachment and anti-power theft drive of the Uttar Pradesh administration. Additional security forces have been on standby. Both the temples are just a couple of kilometers apart and reports indicate have been shut since the 1978 Sambhal riots. The first temple was located during the anti-encroachment drive on December the 14th. The police and administration were quick to have the area cleaned up. The second temple was located in Nayat Nagar in the Sarai Tareen locality. It was locked up and the administration called for the keys. A Lord Hanuman idol and idols of Radha Krishna were recovered.
संभल में एक के बाद एक मंदिरों के मिलने का सिलसिला जारी है और इसी बीच जब इलीगल इंक्रोचमेंट के खिलाफ ड्राइव चलाया जा रहा था तभी ये मंदिर जो घनी बस्ती के बीच ये मंदिर प्रशासन को मिला है, जिसके बाद आप देख पा रहे हैं यहाँ पर साफ सफाई का काम जो है वो लगातार किया जा रहा है। हनुमान जी का मंदिर है और बाकायदा अब यहाँ पर साफ सफाई जो है वो की जा रही है।
Several devotees reached Sambhal to pray at the temples shut for close to 50 years, and some recall the horrors of the 1978 communal riots that led to a mass exodus of Hindus from the locality.
मकान डर के मारे भेज गए, अपने आप कौन बेचेगा? जब हमारी दादा लाई रिहाइश यहाँ है तो कोई अपना मकान अपना नेटिव प्लेस क्यों बेचेगा? यहाँ का बहुत बेहतर माहौल था इसलिए चले गए।
The administration dug up a well in the area and more idols emerged. With this, more voices found strength to speak up on the riots and the migration. A family that had relocated to Moradabad from Sambhal recalled the horrors of the 1978 riots.
1978 में मैं दुकान पे बैठा था, ये सुना कि भीड़ आ रही है दंगा करती, मैं दुकान बंद करके घर आ गया था। उसके बाद ये पता चला शाम को कि दुकान जल रही है। अगले दिन मैंने पीयूसी के साथ जाके देखा तो मेरी दुकान सब जल गई थी, माल सब जला हुआ था।
The administration is ensuring rapid action force and additional battalions of the police are kept on standby as the administration intensifies its operations. The UP Electricity Department also sought additional security to carry out an anti-power theft drive and the installation of smart electricity meters, including in the locality of the Sambhal Samajwadi Party leaders.
विद्युत विभाग द्वारा पुलिस टीम की मांग की गई थी, इसलिए पर्याप्त पुलिस बल यहाँ उपस्थित है जिससे सकुशल वो अपना कार्य कर सकें। किसी भी स्थिति से हम लोग निपटने के तैयार हैं और कानून व्यवस्था किसी भी स्थिति में बिगड़ने नहीं दी जाएगी और जिसने भी यदि कुछ करने की कोशिश की प्रभावी और कठोर कार्रवाई की जाएगी।
But discovery of the temples has led to an intense war of words between the Samajwadi Party and the BJP.
सारे सोशल मीडिया पे एक व्यक्ति के घर में अपना मंदिर था, उसने कहा कि मैं और लोग चले गए तो मैं भी चला गया था, मैं ही ताला लगा के गया था। एक ने नहीं, उस परिवार के सारे सदस्यों ने कहा। तो अब इतना असत्य अगर गेरुआ वस्त्र पहन के कोई आदमी बोलता है तो उसका कोई इलाज नहीं।
जहाँ कहीं पर भी मंदिर है तो वो तो पूजा का स्थान है, कोई दबा के छिपा के रखा हुआ है तो खुल रहा है, बहुत अच्छी बात है। किसी को डरा के वहाँ से भगा दिया था, वो बहुत चिंताजनक है, उसकी जांचें आदि हो रही हैं और जहाँ कहीं पर भी इस प्रकार से कोई दबा छिपा करके रखा है तो अगर मंदिर खुलते हैं तो उसका स्वागत है।
Meanwhile, another centuries-old locked-up temple was found in the middle of a minority-dominated locality in Varanasi in eastern UP. The Sanatan Rakshak Dal has filed a petition seeking the reopening of the temple and prayers amid security. With Arvind Ojha in Sambhal, UP, Bureau Report, India Today.
And on the floor of the House, in the Uttar Pradesh Assembly, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath detailed the anatomy of an exodus in Sambhal. Listen in.
1978 में 184 हिंदुओं को सामूहिक रूप से जला दिया गया था। ये लगातार इस सिलसिला चलता रहा। 1947 से लेकर के अब तक 209 हिंदुओं की निर्मम हत्या वहां हुई है संभल के अंदर। 209 हिंदुओं की, और एक भी बार किसी ने उन निर्दोष हिंदुओं के लिए कभी दो शब्द नहीं कहे, उनके प्रति, उन परिवारों के प्रति संवेदना के शब्द नहीं कहे।
Has the anti-encroachment drive unearthed the truth about Hindu exodus in Sambhal? Joining me on India First is Juhi Singh, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Anila Singh represents the Bharatiya Janata Party. And for a legal perspective and a police perspective, I have Dr. Vikram Singh, former Director General of the Uttar Pradesh Police, joining us on the broadcast. But Anila Singh, I want to begin by asking you, madam, why is the Chief Minister raking up the 1978 riots in which 184 Hindus were slaughtered and burnt alive in 2024? What is the aim?
My Ram to all. And what is wrong in that? Isn't it a right of every Hindu to know the injustices, historical injustices done to them? Why they should be buried 12 feet down the earth? Why? In today's date, if the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, he tells the world that this happened in Sambhal, and because of that exodus happened, and because of that today we can see the demographic unbalance there. And the result is when a survey team goes, like, so a simple survey had to be done, that too on the court's order. They are being attacked and they start fighting amongst themselves. And then they make the police administration accused of it. So the historical injustices done to the Hindus, they should come out. And I'm very proud of Yogi Adityanath ji that he takes very strong words and steps to show the world that how these things had happened.
Juhi Singh, I want to bring in Juhi Singh into this conversation. Let's keep this conversational, ma'am. Juhi Singh, has this anti-encroachment drive actually exposed the conspiracy of silence and Muslim appeasement politics in Uttar Pradesh? For decades, Hindus were compelled to leave Sambhal after repeatedly being targeted. The truth is only emerging now.
Gaurav, don't oversimplify things. You've been reporting on defense. This Sambhal incident is very much due to the incompetence and the inability of the administration to really address something which was very sensitive. People were killed, people were hurt, whether it was their own personnel or the people who were dead. So the Chief Minister should take responsibility, not hide behind this facade. Second thing, Exodus. I heard a certain cry like this for Kerala also quite a few years ago, where one reason was simplified that people migrated from a particular place because of what you people call minority appeasement. I would call it supporting. I thought Anila Singh also supported everyone. So where is the appeasement? Later on, migration can be due to various reasons. Yeah, temples are being discovered. There's a good discovery going on by the administration as they don't have anything else to do. Anti-encroachment drives they can carry out. I think electricity connections, what they are talking of, the illegal ones, should be taken down all across UP. Why just Sambhal? That is a place, first bring peace and order there. You have a Judicial Commission of Inquiry. What is the report? Who are the people there? Are they reporting? And you've not even bothered to take action or even send a warning to your officers there. So the Chief Minister, I presume, thinks that whatever happened in Sambhal is correct, and that is the best way of handling that situation. Everybody knew what the survey was being. I mean, it would result in us. It was a sensitive matter for everyone. Matters of faith are always sensitive, and I thought the administration is not supposed to take sides. The similar thing happened in Bahrain. Yeah, you revisit history.
Dr. Vikram Singh, I'm staying on Sambhal for the moment. I'll come to Bahrain in just a moment, madam. But I want to stay on Sambhal for the moment. Is Yogi Adityanath government playing with fire? I want to understand, you've heard both the perspectives, and Juhi Singh is very clear. The administration was caught flat-footed. It targeted minorities and now is further targeting minorities. And why are they looking for temples in every nook and cranny of Sambhal, is the point that the opposition is raising, unless it's playing with fire.
Gaurav ji, good evening. Good evening, ladies. Both the ladies have made very logical and consistent statements, and it is difficult to disagree with them on the face of it. But the fact of the matter is that there's always a best way of doing everything, and I cannot fault the Yogi government or the Sambhal officers for anything. To the contrary, truth has a propensity of coming out and emerging it when the time is opportune. To check, as Anila ji has said, any historical wrong, if it is being undone, the temples did not come out on their own. It was a matter that was precipitated by the stoning and by the mismanagement of the committee there, stoning of our officers. And then what has happened is history, and the police and the administration must be complimented for what they have done. They have taken a very clear and transparent action. And of course, those who take the law in their hands should know, and they should be very clear that there will be consequences once peace is restored. And now what is happening? To respected Madam Juhi Singh's statement that we should begin in the entire state. Yes, first come, first served. Whoever gave the opportunity to the administration for first service, well, they will be dispensed with justice on a priority basis. Nowhere in the state was this challenge to the state authority. A duly elected government came, and the manner in which they took law in their own hands, there should be consequences, and I totally agree with the action. Yogi ji was surgical and scientific in his approach. So Gaurav ji, there's always the best way of everything, and this is exactly what one should do in handling rights. Otherwise, it could have been a repeat of 76 and 78.
What happened in 76 and 78, and Juhi Singh, he on the floor of the house, and I'm sure you heard Yogi Adityanath, 1947, 1948, 1958, 1962, 1976, 1978, 1980, 1982, 1986, 1990, 1992, right after right after right after right after right. Hindus being targeted every time in Sambhal is what Yogi Adityanath says. Clearly, if this time, on the orders of a court, if a survey is happening, nobody has the right to write.
And Yogi Adityanath ji is not addressing 2024. And he actually speaks now on the floor of the House, showing his inability or lack of knowledge or intelligence to even acknowledge that there was an intelligence failure. And with due respect to Vikram Singh ji, I see a long time on India Today, he asked me a question. I'll ask him the same thing. Are these the officers you trained for handling such a situation? Of course, there's always the best way out. And this was the best way, that after people were killed, after stones were pelted, after shots were fired, you suddenly say that people entered from everywhere, and of course the police commissioner, and nobody was aware. There were drone cameras. I mean, suddenly they discovered and started giving video footages to everybody, but they could not control this. They did not know what was happening or where the arms, illegal arms, were there, or suddenly there was a cartridge also from Pakistan.
No, but are you justifying a mob of Muslim youth assembling and rioting? Are you justifying that, madam?
Gaurav, I am just holding my government accountable that they let this happen on their watch, and they were irresponsible, and they have to bear the responsibility. Every government, when a riot happens, is held accountable. And suddenly, Yogi Adityanath ji cannot visit history and say that today I was right in doing that. And first come, first serve. Yes, sir. Of course, but certain localities in Sambhal, this is of course the right time, according to your administrative experience, to carry this operation out in Sambhal. Let Yogi Adityanath walk the talk and carry it elsewhere, where I don't think he dares to step in. So of course,
No,
the
but are you
discoveries
saying that
can happen
a minority dominated area is being targeted? Is that what you're saying? Because I'll take it both to Dr. Vikram Singh and to Anila Singh. Are you saying
Gaurav, I'll correct
because
you.
your party MP,
Okay.
Ziauddin Barq comes from a locality, it's a Muslim dominated area. Are you implying Muslims are being targeted?
I don't imply anything. I'm speaking categorically that Sambhal is a sensitive place at the moment. A riot has taken place. This is not. I don't have
Okay,
an
Anila
administrative
Singh,
experience,
quickly,
but even as a
quickly,
layman,
quickly
a person
respond,
with little
Anila Singh.
experience in public life would say
Yogi
that,
Adityanath is being accused of 1, incompetence, 2, failure, 3,
What?
police are being accused of intelligence
9.
failure.
On the
I find
floor of the house, you are the chief minister is justifying.
Jogi
that
Singh,
Okay,
I
Anila
should
Singh,
do,
only Anila Singh right now. Respond,
question
madam.
is for me. You is saying, calm down, calm down.
I'm calm down.
I find statements made by Ms. Juhi Singh flippant, frivolous, and an insult to all those who seek to legally correct historical injustices made to them. These are the same political parties because of whom in 1993, Ramji, Bhagwan Shri Ram was declared as a constitutional identity. Imagine Bhagwan Ram, who is our Astha, who is our Ish, but the political parties who are deep into appeasement, who want to appease people from one particular religious community, because of them, like he was declared as a constitutional identity. So they are going to make every effort to show that Yogi Adityanath ji, who is a Bhagwadhari, he is absolutely wrong. He is doing injustices. Okay. He is trying to correct what wrong had been done by the Congress party and the Samajwadi Party.
Okay, you're saying he's trying to correct the wrongs done by previous governments, but Dr. Vikram Singh...
Can you give me 30 seconds, Gaurav, please?
Ma'am, 30 seconds. Go on, ma'am.
All right. I say that what kind of rush is this, where 1 billion strong Hindus have been through parliament, courts, education system and constitution reduced to second-rate citizens because of such political parties. Congress forced Hindus to be refugees in their own country. Congress and Samajwadi Party, like political parties, they made provision of state controlling all the Hindu temples and Hindu education system.
I'll come to that aspect, the wider aspect of Hindus in just a moment, but I want to stay on Sambhal. I want to stay on Sambhal. One, the fact that these temples are being found.
What happened was in between the workers of the Samajwadi Party leaders, it was not Hindu-Muslim danga. They attacked police walas. Now, Ms. Juhi is saying he is ridiculing police walas, his political party leaders. They say कि अरे कोई भी आएगा भगवा पहनकर आएगा कोई भी कुछ कह देगा क्या इस तरीके की भाषा जो इस्तेमाल हो रही है
Dr. Vikram Singh, only Dr. Vikram Singh, I want to understand from you, is this intelligence failure, is this administrative failure, or the fact that temples are being found, whether they're being found in Kashi, in a Muslim dominated area, or in Sambhal in a Muslim dominated area? Sir, you've been DGP. Are we sitting on a ticking time bomb? During festivals, police cannot remain there all the time. There could be, a spark neglected could burn the house, sir.
You're very right. The potential is very grave there. But let me tell you, the police and the administration are fully prepared. And to Ms. Juhi Singh's statement that the training of officers in UP, yes, we had late AP Singh, sir. We had officers like Mr. B.S. Bedi. We had officers like Sri Varun who created men and women of steel in the police administration and in the IS and the PCS administration. But yes, accidents and freak incidents do happen. And I said Sambhal was something that they invited trouble for themselves by attacking the commission and attacking the police party. When such a thing happened to Mr. Juhi Singh, that training is very much there and a befitting reply and a response was given. And that is where the problem arises. One would say that, yes, it was a befitting response. Others would say it was disproportionate. The ground reality is now to your second part of the question. If the property was criminally usurped, was it mal lavaris, mal la dawa, mal muqaddmati? It was neither of the three. It was just criminally usurped and waiting for the right opportunity to demolish. That opportunity did not come, and therefore they could not assimilate it in their own property. Therefore, in every nook and corner where there is sensitivity, there is always a possibility of a place of worship being usurped by vested interests, property sharks, and the mafia. But it's for the police and the intelligence. Where there is a political will, it will happen. Where there is no will, things let sleeping's dog lie. And this is exactly what has happened in the last 70 years.
I will let that be the last word on this part of the show. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath on the floor of the House said, no innocent will be targeted, but no guilty, no stone pelter, no writer will be spared. And we'll be tracking that story very, very closely. A judicial commission has now been formed. We'll wait for its report. That is all I have for you on India First this evening. Many thanks for watching.